Hello, everybody. This is Christina Fasonic broadcasting live from Wheeling, West Virginia, where, in case you are dying for a weather report, like every time I'm here, it is storming. So I'm in the house and I'm not happy to be inside. But tonight we have a special guest from Pittsburgh. We're going to talk about books and book selling. But at first, I want to bring on my co-host, Damian Dressick. Hello, Damian.
Good evening, Christina. How are you?
I'm good. It's a little damp out there.
I was outside today earlier. It was very sunny. I know. You can tell, right? It was sunny here. I wore a hat.
Wow. And sunscreen?
Yes. A hat and sunscreen.
Wow. Totally protected. So we have a new guest on tonight, someone a little bit different than what we've had for the entire show, actually. But we're hoping to get more guests on that can sort of broaden the reach and the purpose of WCONA. So would you like to tell our audience about our guest tonight?
Well, I would love to tell our audience about our guest this evening. When we first started doing WCONA Live, we were interested in serving the literary community in a time of crisis. And so we brought a lot of writers on, some of whom had canceled book tours. But another important component of this literary ecosystem are local independent bookstores. And we could not be, we see them as deeply important parts of what's going on in the literary scene in Northern Appalachia and throughout the country. So it is our collective, but my especially, great pleasure tonight to bring you Arlan Hess, the owner of Pittsburgh's one of the legendary bookstores in Pittsburgh, City Books. And Arlan has we're going to bring her out. Cool.
Go ahead.
Hi, guys. Hey, Christina. Hey,
Arlan has owned City Books on the north side of Pittsburgh. It used to be on the south side. Now it's on the north side. It's migrated. Since 2015, it has been on the north side on Galveston Street. Yes?
Correct. Yes.
Well, welcome, Arlan.
Thank you. If you're an old-time North Sider, you say Galveston.
You do?
Oh.
I don't. Because I never knew it as Galveston, but it's kind of like Appalachian to Appalachian. You reveal yourself depending on how you say it.
So true.
I'm careful about revealing myself. Thanks for letting me know that.
I say Galveston too, because I like to sing the song.
Right. So Arlan, tell us about City Books.
I'm here. Okay. Well, it's Pittsburgh's oldest existing bookstore. If you just qualify Pittsburgh as being the city limits, Sewickley has a bookstore called Penguin Books, which is a bit older. And the next oldest one in Pittsburgh is Caliban. That's about 1989, I think, and that one's in Oakland. But when I bought it, it was on the south side, and it was about 24,000 books, I would say. And we really downsized it. Now we probably have 6-ish. It's all on one floor. There's no coffee bar. We don't specialize in anything. I try to keep it a general use bookstore. Although my best sellers, I would say, are literary fiction and poetry. We sell a lot of history. I do a very active trade-in for store credit business.
Now, this is a used bookstore.
It's a used bookstore.
Yes, I will.
Yeah, it's a used bookstore. So I do almost all of the books are used. And they either are still there from the original inventory that I bought, or I do a very active trade-in for store credit. So I'm constantly putting things on the shelf, taking things off the shelf. I sell a lot on Instagram. It's the only way that I sell online. And I have 2 full shelves that I just call my Instagram wall. So people can always see what the new stuff is coming into the store. And I move the stock around. Like science fiction might be in one place one day, and it could be someplace else on another day. So it's my hope that people are always walking in and seeing the bookstore with fresh eyes. And we do. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
What is your Instagram account? Where can people find you on Instagram?
Right. All of my social media handles are at City Books PGH.
Okay.
CITYBOOKS PGH. Instagram, Twitter, I think you can type that into Facebook now. And our email is citybookspgh@gmail.com.
Perfect. So you've got the greatest hits of the Western literary canon and beyond.
And beyond, and more beyond every single day.
Awesome. I love that you're on Instagram. That's fantastic.
I didn't really know, and I'm not sure I used Instagram to the best of my ability, but I'll tell you, it's working for me. I put up 4 or 5 books a day, and there's a little blurb, and then there's a price, and then I have a pretty good following, I would say. People either just respond in the comments, hey, can you hold that for me? I'll be in over the weekend, or they can DM me and see if it's still available. And during the COVID lockdown, I've been taking payment either via Venmo or PayPal, so I can send the books out. And that has helped me keep the revenue flowing, because usually prior to, March 15th, people, I would just hold the books and people would come in and pay for them on the weekends or whenever they did that. So I was always a little bit trailing the sales, but now people are paying up front. That's been really helpful.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm doing curbside pickup now too.
Cool. So Valerie's saying hello.
Hey Val, we're gonna talk about you in a little bit.
Yay!
Hey.
So
that's really cool.
Yeah, I love these pop-ups. So then we can get you involved in the conversation.
Yeah, great.
So you said that literary fiction and poetry are big sellers there. Is there an author or two that people are just clamoring to get from you, or that are just wanting to read?
No, I mean, as a used bookstore, a lot of times people come in looking for something in particular, or they browse and they find something. So I very rarely have more than one copy of something, unless, and I think this is where the connection with the show comes on, unless I'm carrying a new book, and I do carry new books by local and regional authors. So
awesome.
So we carried Val's book, To the Bones, which was great. We had her into the store. So I have a Pittsburgh regional section that has multiple copies of books. So it's a lot easier to say what sells in the new category. And, a book that I cannot keep in the store is Brian O'Neill's Paris of Appalachia. That is just, every time I have them, they go out of the store.
Love that book.
And I love that book. And then the past couple of years, I've had 12 Rounds in Lowe's Gym by named Todd Snyder, and Laura Morris. Yeah, these are all, I have relationships. I've tried, the thing that has helped me keep the city in city books, which is kind of corny, but I do try to do that, is that I've built relationships with some local and regional publishers, and West Virginia University Press is great with getting me in touch with regional writers. So I've done a lot with them. Laura Lee Morris, Jaws of Life, and Natalie Seipoltz, The Sound of Holding Your Breath, and Matt Ferentz.
Yes.
Yeah, well, he's running for office, right? Did he?
Yes, he is
running for office.
Yeah. He won the primary. Yes.
Oh, did he? Oh, that's great. I hadn't heard. That's wonderful. So I also have relationships with Kent State University Press,
great.
And we had a really wonderful author in the store whose name is Deborah Fleming. She wrote a book called, I wrote this down, wait a minute so I don't lose it, Resurrection of the Wild, and it's a collection of essays she wrote over a really long period of time about growing up in Ohio and sort of being a gentlewoman farmer, and it's really lovely, and I think she just won a Penn Award, Art of the Essay Award, for that in March.
Wow.
It's really beautiful, and I think that I get so confused into really what Appalachia is, because growing up, I only believed it was everything. It was only south of the Mason-Dixon line, and then of course I had friends begin to hike the trail, and Matt Ferentz's book came out, and I'm like, yeah, right. Well, the Appalachians, they extend all the way up to Maine. So how do we qualify and quantify what this space is? So I don't know if you consider Ohio part of Appalachia or not, but
Yes.
I think the vibe in Resurrection of the Wild is very Appalachian-ish, and she draws a lot from Wendell Berry, and he's an Appalachian writer. So
Yes.
The Ohio River begins here in Pittsburgh, so it's a big space. I'm constantly revising what I think about what Appalachia is.
We've done a lot of that, actually, Damien and I, in our group with the Writers' Conference of Northern Appalachia, because we're very interested in, we feel like some parts of Northern Appalachia have been well documented, the writing, and other parts haven't. And some people think Pittsburgh isn't part of Appalachia, but it is. It's the biggest city in Appalachia.
Yeah, those people are wrong. They don't know what.
They're wrong. That's right. They are. But yes, definitely. If you look, we use the basis for our definition for the conference to be the ARC map, which is the Appalachian Regional Commission's map.
Yeah.
And so that includes Eastern Ohio, Southwestern and Western Pennsylvania, New York, parts of New York, Southern New York, parts of Maryland, the Northern Panhandle of West Virginia. And not even anything out, Damien? That's all of it, right?
I think so. But I think that the salient part here is that if you're looking for books by authors from Pittsburgh, from the northern part of Appalachia, that you can find them at City Books. And you can also find them on Instagram. I'm sorry, it's at City Books PGH Instagram. And you also have, I noticed you have gift certificates for those that maybe you want to give. You don't know what book somebody wants, but you know they love used books. So that's another thing one can do.
I've always done, I don't have anything formal as a gift certificate. People would walk in and they would say, hey, can I get a gift certificate? And I would just take a postcard. We have a City Books postcard, and I would put a City Books stamp on it, and then I would, write how much they wanted it for. But during the COVID lockdown, things changed. I had to come up with things. So I did a really active gift certificate campaign. So now you can actually buy a gift certificate from our website, which is citybookspgh.com. That same City Books thing the whole time.
Cool.
And
something I want to know more about, because I've heard a little bit about this. Yeah. You have a writer in residence program that is kicking off. So you can tell everybody about that. It's super cool.
Yeah, we've just started that. So Vivian Lee Croft, who is one of the directors of Write Pittsburgh, was in our store for an event late last fall and said, in passing, I would just love to move in here. I'd love to just come in here and write. And, we laughed about it. And it's a great place to come and hang out. And then she approached me and said, would you ever think about having a writer in residence? And I was thrilled with that idea. Of course I would. I always try to say yes to things because you never know where it's going to lead. Mm-hmm. So we talked about it and we hammered it out, and we kind of created this thing called the City Books Writers Residency. And she was going to be our first writer because she'd come to us with the idea, and it was going to be a pilot program. And it was supposed to start at the beginning of February and run through the end of June. And because of scheduling, in February, it didn't happen. And then we closed our doors on March 15th. So she was not actually in residence, but we haven't announced it yet, but we have picked our writer in residence for the fall term, which is July 1st through November 30th. And because we were gifted a little bit of money, the last minute, surprisingly so, less than 24 hours before we were about to make the decision, we're able to offer a little bit of money to the two other finalists. So technically we're going to have 3 writers in residence this term, but only one of them is going to be in the space because we can't expect anyone to share a desk or to share space right now. And then the other two are going to be in the digital space. And we're going to be having online readings for all of them, and everything that Viv didn't get to be included in the spring, she's going to be included in the fall. But yeah, it's a program that we developed to help emerging writers, and we're giving preference to people for whom it will do the most good. So we've got some young writers now just starting.
Very cool. Very cool. My daughter was in your store, and she said, she's 9, that it reminded her of Shakespeare and Company in Paris. And if you know anything that what George did at Shakespeare and Company, where you could be a young writer and he'd give you a place to hang your hat in exchange for working in the store, you're sort of following that wonderful tradition of helping to support writers in those developmental stages. So, it's just it's one more awesome thing about literary Pittsburgh. Now, you are opening back up.
Yeah, I am not yet open. The plan is to, hopefully, knock wood, reopen on July 8th, which is a Wednesday. We're going to be open 2 days a week for the first couple of weeks, Wednesdays and Saturdays, 11 till 5. And then every couple of weeks, we're going to add another day. We're going to do it very slowly, just to kind of see how it works. Because if no one's coming in at all on those days, I don't know if we'll add more days. But the idea is to add another day every couple of weeks until we're open full-time again right around Labor Day. I counted that on a calendar. It would be the last week of August that we would be open. So, yeah, I mean, we did a lot of online sales business during COVID. The gift certificates, we created a customer loyalty program, and we did a care package through Etsy with some of my vendors. And with the selling online, it was tight, but we've held our own. And all of those plans that we've done, the gift certificates, the care packages, the customer loyalty plan, everything's we're just going to keep on doing it. There's nothing that we've taken on that was too bulky that we want to get rid of now that we're opening our doors. So we've really we've changed the business model. We've added a lot more to it. So the in-store sales isn't the only way to bring people in. So we can open slowly and healthily. We're redoing the layout of the store, so there's a lot more room for healthy distance browsing. It was kind of tight before, but we're moving a lot of things around.
Well, I, for one, cannot wait to get down there.
I can't wait for you to get down there either. Yeah.
And I will say this:
was Shakespeare and Company's greatest compliment we've ever had.
I wanted to say this, that I love all bookstores, especially used bookstores. And I love yours. I've only been there 3 or 4 times because it smells like books. And it's one thing that I have missed through this whole epidemic is that I have my own library, but it doesn't smell like books. And so that's the blessing of a used bookstore compared to a new bookstore, because a new bookstore smells like print and paper and ink, but an old bookstore smells like everything I ever wanted in life, So
I love that you said that, because normally, prior to March 15th, I would walk into the store every day and I had kind of gone nose blind. I hadn't smelled it. I didn't smell it anymore. And now I'm going down maybe once a week to pull books off the shelves and to pack them up twice a week. And I walked in today and I took a deep breath and I could smell it. And it was like, this is my store. I smell it. God, it smells good. It smells like home.
Gosh, I need that fixed like right now because I love that smell. And I think anybody who loves books has that sort of association.
What's wrong with us?
Right. And people say they bottled it or they make candles, but none of them smell right. It's nothing like a good old book that smell good.
It's like a person, everybody has a particular, aroma to them, even if they wear an aftershave or a perfume. And it has to do with the combination of the books. I think there's a chemistry that comes together in every collection, an intellectual chemistry that comes together in any book collection. But I think there's also a very literal chemistry that comes together.
I think you're right, because if you think about like dime store novels and that paper in combination with a hardback, or yeah, we could talk about this forever, though. I'm sure.
Yeah. Come into the store. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, I will.
The last thing we picked up there was the Rijksmuseum Guide to, so I think it was 16th century Dutch cooking.
Oh, you did. That's right. Yeah.
That's ambitious.
The rice. Yeah. Did I get that when I was over there? I can't remember.
I don't know. We just come back from the Netherlands, so we were like, "Oh, look at this! How cool!" We didn't even have to, we didn't even bring it in our suitcases. We could just go to the north side of Pittsburgh and get it. It was so cool.
In this layout of the store, I am literally moving every book in the store, and some of the books are only moving one shelf over. But I'm seeing a lot of things I forgot that I had, which is nice.
Oh, cool.
Oh, it's like discovering old friends.
It is. Oh my God, these beautiful gems.
Oh,
yeah. Half the time I think at home, I'm taking that home. I'm taking that home.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
I get that. That's why I could never work in a bookstore, because my arms would break because I would go home every day with this giant stack of books.
No, you go like full on Tony Montana.
Right, exactly. Huge muscles. Well, thank you so much for being on.
That was fast. It's my pleasure. There's so much more I was prepared to talk about if you needed me to.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask, Damien?
No, but I want to say thank you for coming on, but more importantly, thank you for keeping a great place in Pittsburgh to buy used books, to buy regional literature. It is on the north side. It is on Galveston or Galveston. And what's the address, Arlan?
908.
908. What are the crosses?
It's Western and Galveston. So if you were coming down, it's on the side of the north side where CCAC is on. The
Mexican War Streets.
Yeah, but it's not up that far. That's Allegheny Central. We're Allegheny West.
Oh, okay.
So if you know where the thanks, Donna. If you know where the Humane Society is, for example, or the Allegheny Tea Stop down there by the Science Center, it's on that side of the north side. And if you know where the Modern Cafe is, which is a legend, there's a big like modernist neon sign on the corner. We are right next door to them on Galveston.
Excellent.
Come on down.
Thank you very much. And good luck with the open.
Thank you.
Can't wait to see you.
Thank you. Looking forward to seeing you too, and Undine too.
Good luck with the reopening.
Thanks.
Take care.
Yeah, watch social media. I'll be pushing it out when everybody knows.
Wonderful.
Bye. Thank you so much.
You will. Thank you.
Thanks.
Night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Do I have to? I guess I do. Okay. Bye.